Hey, welcome to episode 2 of Semi-Pro Sports here. I'm Chad. I'm your host here with some of the boys from JBC Films. I guess the guys put us down as Old Guy Twins, Jayhawk fan, and Brady. So that's what we got going on here. Let's introduce the crew again, once again.
Bryson Brown.
Hunter Poor.
Brady.
Caden. Does Brady have a last
Well,
name?
we're glad that these guys may know a little bit about who they are. I'm not sure they're super excited about it. But once again, you're back here with us on Semi-Pro Sports, and this is our second episode. Launched the first episode last week. These guys came up with this idea to do a sports video cast, and so that's what we're doing. Coming in every week, we're going to sit down, we're going to talk about some different sports stuff. Some may be controversial, most of the time probably not. Just a bunch of people who are actually professionals, right? Because we're all professionals.
Semi-pro.
Semi-professionals. We're a bunch of semi-professionals sitting around here that are just going to give our opinions on sports. So thanks for joining us again. Once again, want to send a shout-out to Kiowa County Media Center and Grant Newhold for them allowing us to use their facilities and getting us set up, making sure we can do this video cast. So make sure if you guys see them that you tell them thanks. If you get the opportunity, go ahead and kick some funds their way through a donation. Kiowa County Media Center allows these guys, every one of them, like I said last week, have had the opportunity to participate in video production. They've helped put on our live events over the last few years. That way fans can see games of the Kiowa County Mavericks. So if you get the chance, make sure to donate to the Kiowa County Media Center. We can keep this thing up and running and give these kids the same opportunities that they've been getting for the last few years here. So what big things happened over the last couple of days before we get into any of the big topics? What are the things that came up over the last few days?
Like, as in sports-wise?
Like
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is called Semi-Pro.
How I was the only one to predict the AFC Championship game. You all owe
got
me.
the AFC
me and
NFC
Brady
Championship games.
Caden and I got the NFC Championship
You
game.
guys
All right.
owe me
Chad and I
orange
were
juice.
completely wrong on both
juice.
games.
So
Yes.
I believe me and Bryson are 0-2, and all three of you guys are 1-1.
Yep.
1-1.
Never
All right.
lost.
Okay.
Except for that one time.
Except
What
for the
about
one
Dodge City?
time.
How'd the league basketball tournaments go?
South Central
South
beat South
Central.
Gray.
Tense.
South Central.
South Central beat South Gray in both of those
They
games.
went
Both of the
camping, it was
championships.
intense.
South Central took the girls, as expected. Our number 8 seed, Kiowa County Lady Mavericks, upset the 1 seed, though, in the quarterfinals. Our boys, they didn't play their
Fourth.
greatest and got 4th, but that's better than they've ever done, ever, as Kiowa County High School.
Really? They've never done that high in the league tournament before?
I don't think so. It's one of their top finishes
I
because they
think-
usually always end up losing in the quarterfinals and have to play a consolation game.
I know a couple years ago, I think they did. I think they got 5th,
Yeah, but
not quite 4th.
South Central ended up beating South Gray, who was the state champions last year. But South Gray, were undefeated and ranked in the state. But we all kind of thought that could happen because South Gray is a young team. But losing Gilbert Peters doesn't help either.
Oh yeah, when you lose a man child, that's a little bit hard to replace there.
Take out
It can
Child,
be.
he was just a man.
6'10", 300,
So-
can dunk on your face no matter who you are.
So what happened to our girls, right? So we had early in the
Don't at
week
me.
we came out and played really well against Spearville. Really good game the first half. Kind of got down after the third quarter, and then stormed back in the fourth quarter and ended up pulling that out against the number 1 seed as the 8 seed on that side of the house. And then we go into the next round and we play. Who do we play in that next round?
South Gray.
Okay,
And-
and we
and
played completely deflated.
Who
It
all
was
went? Did you
flat.
guys all go to that game or?
I was not
Yeah,
there.
Us
Yeah,
three did.
it was flat.
They just played flat all game. They didn't play well at all.
And we didn't even score a lot that game, right?
No,
That
it was like
30s.
It was 30-36. I think
Yeah.
was the final score, something like that.
And then with the boys, the South Central game started off good, and then it started to look kind of like the girls' game.
Yeah,
Just let them pull away.
So the girls didn't play good in that second game, but then they came back in the third place game and kind of went to town early on
Buckland.
Buckland.
Who
Who
So-
had already beat us once this year.
Yeah, well, we kind of took them to task in that game, I think.
And then with the boys against Hodgman County, our boys didn't necessarily play bad.
Okay, but
Hodgman
so
County
we're
shot-
still talking about the girls game, bro. Why you keep
We're
bringing up
talking
the
about
boys
the
game?
league tournament.
Every time I'm talking about the girls stuff, you notice how he keeps bringing up the boys stuff.
Yeah.
I'm comparing
Like
the
there's
games.
boys and girls that play.
Yeah, I know. I'm comparing both
I know,
games.
but we're still trying to talk about the girls stuff.
because they all played in basically the same game each time.
Boys and girls played in the same game?
Pretty much.
Against each other or somebody
each
else?
of them was in the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the third and fourth place game. So it was like, except the girls did play a play-in game, but it was like, wow. Same thing.
So here's my take of the girls.
I'm not sexist or anything.
Here's my take of the girls team here. All right, I feel like they're at their best when two things happen. And number one, when they get the ball inside to Sabrina.
Yeah.
If they can get it down to Sabrina, she's usually pretty good about finishing and either getting fouled or getting a bucket out of it.
Yeah, in some way.
And number two, I feel like they're at their best when Brecken drives to the hole in some way, shape, or form, because she can dish out some good passes. And we saw that in the third place game where she had a few times where she drove to the hole and dished out a few really good passes right under the basket, got some easy buckets there. So I feel like those two things, if they can happen, our girls' team is pretty dominant if we can get those two things to happen on a regular basis.
And that was a big thing in the semifinal game.
And free throws.
Brecken couldn't hit anything. I mean, she'd drive in and put up a little mid-range jumper halfway in the lane and just wouldn't hit it. And I think I was the same way for all the girls. We just weren't hitting shots.
Or free throws.
Yeah, free throws are awful too. But
I wasn't there. I'm just kind of going off what they say.
I mean,
Did you guys play this week?
For a reason.
No.
They don't play
You didn't
on
have a
league
game.
tournament
You got
week.
league tournament coming up?
Yeah.
What day
They
you
play
guys
Monday though.
We play Monday at Buckland, and then the league tournament is the next Thursday, Thursday.
Do you know your seed already or where you're at?
We're the 3 seed.
3 seed.
We'll play Hodgman first round.
Have you played them already this year?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How'd that go?
I
They're
think we
short.
beat them by 12 or 15.
Yeah.
they're short, aren't they?
Not overly. Don't have any great shooters or anything.
We were not a 3 seed last year. That's all I'm going to say.
What?
Said we were not a 3 seed last year.
If we
That's
were
all
in
I'm
the
saying.
small division, we were a 2 seed.
they're a solid 7.
And
So the boys got beat on the 3 ball, right? So
oh yeah,
in the-
60%, man.
Yeah. Hodgman County came out draining threes.
Shot the lights out the gym.
I know one time I was looking up at the before I looked up at the scoreboard, it was like halfway in the first quarter. I was like, man, this is gonna be a pretty good game. Looked up at the score, it's 18-8. Like, how's it like that? They had already hit like 5 threes by then.
Did anybody notice the size of the people from Hodgman County? I mean, when you
6'5",
when you looked out on the court,
6'5".
even outside of their height, because we got a couple of
6'2",
tall guys.
6'3",
But when you look out on the court,
6 foot.
I mean, you're looking at their team versus our team, and I mean, and there's this distinct difference. I mean, they've got, not only do they have some height, but all of their guys they have bulk to them as well. You can tell that they're all big, burly guys.
They've always
Not
been
that our
like that.
guys aren't big and burly, but
Tall and skinny.
you could tell a distinct difference in that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all our tall guys are pretty skinny. Their tall guys are pretty bulky.
Camden and Reed are more finesse than power.
Or what?
Camden and Reed are more finesse than power.
Well, looking down the line, it's going to stay that way for quite a while. There's nobody
We need to get a good waist
Overly
band going. I know
dominant.
Mr. Remy's trying to get one
Yeah.
going.
So what's up with that? I mean, obviously these guys didn't just grow into having muscles. I mean,
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure everywhere west of Mullenville just has steroids in their water. Everyone's bigger than us.
Yeah, Connor excuses.
And south of Greensburg.
here's the thing. I'll say this, and this may make some of you guys mad, but here's what I've noticed a little bit about a lot of our athletes around Kiowa County, and that's we're what's called seasonal athletes. Does anybody know what that means when we say seasonal athletes?
I'd like
mean-
to think so.
Maybe.
we play
Like,
good.
We don't play good the whole game.
Yeah.
Nope.
Or we're only good at track.
Nope.
Hmm.
What you got over there, Caden? You have any idea
Well,
what
only
seasonal
play-
athletes are?
I only play wood.
We
only
Nope.
play-
Season
I mean,
or
like
Trade
stuff
game
before
only
is
good
we
at
good
one
for
thing.
bad.
No. So like seasonal athletes is like so what I mean by that is a lot of our athletes play 3 sports,
Oh yeah.
okay? But we don't work on those sports typically outside of the season. Right?
Yeah.
So
true.
in football season, all we do is focus on football, and I see it at home even with you guys. In football season, you guys are out throwing the football around, playing football, and then basketball season comes on, and everything you guys do at home now is related to basketball. And then baseball season comes, and everything relates to baseball season. And so it's good that we play multi-sports, but we're very seasonal in some of our preparation.
You're never going to get amazing at one sport if you're not focusing on that at least somewhat year round. Doesn't have to be your main focus, but
Yeah, you can't just pick up a basketball at the beginning of basketball season and expect that you're going to be able to have Jason William type handles or Steph Curry type shooting. You know, that's what a lot of people seem to think is, well, I can just pick a basketball up at the beginning of the season and now I'm good to go. When in reality, you probably need to be practicing some of your dribbling and your shooting outside of the basketball season too.
What were you saying? Something about like you're not able to go to the cage or anything till after basketball season?
I can. Nobody will take me over there. I mean,
Like, so I have one of my supervisors
Brady, let me tell you,
that
I'll
works
come
for me.
pick
She
you up.
taught me something a couple of years ago, and what she would tell you is you better bend and pat.
which means
Bend that knee and pat that foot. You know what that means? That means you ain't got to ride. Better bend that knee and pat that foot and get to walk into the
Definitely,
batting cage.
but it's 10 miles away.
That's all
and
right.
back.
I will
You
come
get your
pick
exercise in
guys up.
too.
That's illegal. You're
10
not
miles
legal.
there, run 10 miles
Huh?
there, jog 10 miles there, jog 10 miles back.
You're not legal
if you
yet.
don't get caught.
You're not legal to. It technically
So what's-
still is illegal,
Well,
but
Connor,
What's
you
on
don't get
cast for
caught.
the Mavericks this week? What do we got coming up this week for the Mavericks?
Game Tuesday, homecoming Friday.
Tuesday at home, Tuesday away.
Away.
Tuesday at
Away.
Meade, right?
Tuesday at
Meade.
Meade, home against
Okay.
Satana.
Tuesday at Meade we're at Meade. Friday's homecoming against Satanta. Okay, and for you guys, you
Ooh,
got
Monday
Buckland-
night board
Buckland
meeting.
on Monday,
yeah, I go to Buckland on Monday
and then
Meade.
Thursdays
home.
at home against
at
Hodgman.
home, and that's a league game.
Yes.
Monday
Okay.
night we have a
First league game
Tomorrow
we have a
night,
board meeting.
board
We're going
meeting,
to-
trying to get baseball.
Yeah.
So you guys already had a meeting about baseball a little bit with Mr. Powell, right?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Good.
It went really good.
Yeah.
So
What kind of questions did you get?
I think
Pretty
one of
simple
them,
ones.
one of his biggest ones was dual sporting, but I don't think we're gonna
And we
allow
said,
that.
he asked us, what do you, like, did you ever think about it? And we said we talked to Mrs. Durstein about it, and we didn't really want to have to bring that up. He asked about, like, equipment, like, such as practice balls or game balls. How many game balls do we need?
Yeah.
And, like, do we get those back after the games, or do we have to buy new ones?
Yeah.
And asked about our field issue, and we told him we think we could probably use the fields here in town. If not, we could probably see if Haviland would let us use theirs.
So you've got so Monday night you're going to the actual school board
Yeah.
Yes.
to bring it up.
And they're gonna probably most likely talk about it, wait on it, and vote in February. And what I've heard is that Mrs. Durstein wants the answer by the end of February.
For scheduling reasons, you got to be able to.
Yeah,
Yep.
because Buckland added baseball in the summer, and they're scrounging for games.
Yeah, struggle
they
with
have a
that.
hard time getting games.
So that'll give you three sports in the spring for boys to choose from, right?
Yeah, if they add both baseball and softball, but they could decide to go to the baseball and cut golf route.
But then you might take opportunities away from something else.
Yeah,
Yeah. What's your guys' recommendation in your proposal to them?
Oh, student interest, really.
But I mean, is your recommendation just to add and not?
Well, I think we're just gonna add softball and not cut, because for scheduling reasons, and like I said, we have the interest for softball.
This is probably why we shouldn't have put that in the computer, because every time you're going to have to get the password done.
no, I'm gonna make sure don't shut off.
Again, this is episode 2, so we're still learning about stuff
I think
and
we
how we
should put
should
it
manage a
right
few
here.
things
I
here.
think
Just get a little table.
Dad pulled.
Oh,
So,
man.
so your recommendation is add baseball and softball, but not cut anything else for now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give people the opportunity to pick whatever and go from there.
And I think if golf dies out, we offer golf, but don't cut it.
So you're going to
necessarily.
play baseball if it gets
Yeah,
gets-
I'm definitely gonna play
comes
baseball.
up.
Yeah.
Caden?
Nope.
Okay, leave.
I'm just kidding. Yes, I'm gonna play.
Brady, what are you going to do? You've done
Oh.
track and you've done baseball. What do you
He's a baseball
What do you think
player.
you'll do?
Just playing baseball.
Well, I've actually thought about like sticking to summer baseball, like still practicing and everything, but running track through the school season.
You have
and
no
then-
choice. You will play baseball.
But
Play
there's
baseball
it's kind of hard to
summers.
find summer teams though.
Oh, there's a Legion Pratt team or something. There'll be something.
I
You
think
just need
that
Dodge
school
City,
baseball.
I
something.
think
Yeah,
you
just
Are you
definitely.
going to
School
make it
baseball.
through the track season?
Hard
That's
to
why
say
you
at
play
this
baseball.
point.
Yeah, play
Yeah.
baseball. Yeah.
Play baseball.
Okay. Track is
Baseball.
for fast people,
Baseball.
not Brady.
Baseball.
Not everybody that's in track is fast.
Baseball.
It's for people that
Yeah.
have long distance endurance too, and people that can jump really high.
And people
and
that
people
can,
that can
chuck
throw
the
shot
crap out of
puts.
objects.
And the frisbee.
in
The Frisbee?
Caden's here.
the
Nice.
Frisbee.
Nice
People
you to
who
join
can
us,
throw
Caden.
long sticks 300 feet.
And pole vault themselves up real high without like letting go of the pole and falling on your head onto the track into the pit.
Wow.
Yep.
So that's what we got going on here in Cuyahoga County this week, and kind of a wrap up of some of that. So let's get on. Let's get on to an actual topic here. And so the first one, we're not even going to spin. We're not even going to click to spin. We're going to talk. Want to talk first about officiating and officiating overall, and officiating in the AFC NFC Championship games.
That
and
takes away two
What are your
topics
guys'
from the spin.
thoughts on officiating?
Oh man, I think you should have specific crews, because like our science teacher brought up a very good point that they're not together all the games. They bring up the best from everyone and then throw them all together, and you don't have crews that are experienced with each other. So I think that's a factor too.
Yeah.
Could be a reason that the officiating is so awful.
So you're saying the officiating was awful?
It was
In the
really
AFC
bad.
What
Championship game?
specifically do you think was awful?
Okay, in the NFC Championship game, a guy literally got fined for I don't know how much money it was because they went in after the game and looked at the play. But the ref didn't call it, and it actually cost the Saints a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
It cost them the chance to go to the Super Bowl. Okay.
I thought the AFC Championship game was officiated just fine.
Yeah,
I
the
didn't see any
AFC
problems
Championship
there.
game was really well. It was really well officiated.
Because like even if they made that call like that, rough in the passer one where the dude just touched him on the shoulder, it just got intercepted.
yeah, it didn't affect
Right
anything. It
back
was intercepted
anyways.
right back.
So I think the only really problem that there was in the NFC one with
That
that
pass
pass
interference.
interference call.
I don't necessarily think though that pass interference, it was a bad call, but I don't think it maybe you could say it cost them the game, but you don't know for sure if the Saints kicker would have made it. And they had the ball first in overtime, and they had a chance.
So yeah.
And they let the Rams come back from down 13.
So I still think it cost them a chance.
Didn't cost them the whole game.
So here's my thing is
A
what
chance
number
to
one
win the
what's the thing that you guys are taught all the time?
Don't blame the officials, but
You can only control your effort and your attitude.
And
It's all the officials' fault if you lose.
yes, that's
There
exactly
it
what you're
is.
taught. So here's my thing. You know how many plays there were in the Saints game?
A lot more than one.
There were over 125 plays. 125 plays, and one play where an official made a bad call cost them the game.
No.
I
Do you know that the Saints kicker would have made it?
I mean, I don't.
Or that they would have scored anyway?
Well,
They could have
but
thrown an
Better
interception.
Make it. It's a 20-yard field goal.
So, do you not remember when the Vikings
He's
guy
in the
missed it against the
NFL.
Seahawks? That one was 19 yards.
I don't remember that.
How long was the
definitely not
Bears
19
one? How long
yards.
was the Bears
it
one?
was like 46.
40.
I think.
People have missed extra points.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Extra
but that's
point
like
is longer than the 20.
Even
Yeah,
when
it's
the
like
extra point was
30.
on the 10-yard line.
Here's the
Yeah,
other
they
picture
were
to
bad.
it too, right? So I would never say that it wasn't a bad call because it's a horrible call. But I would be the first one to say that it didn't cost them the game. And reason being for me is number one, there's no guarantee that, like Connor said, that they would have scored at that. Number two, they still got the ball first in overtime. So they still had an opportunity. Number three is they were winning that game at one point 13-0. And so they let the Rams come back in that piece. But number four is if you look at the series, everybody keeps talking about, well, if they would have got that call, they'd have been able to run down the clock, yada, yada, yada. If you look at that series on first down, they had the ball with under 2 minutes, first and goal from like the 13, or first and 10 from the 13. And their first play was a pass play, and it was incomplete. So what happens?
Stop the clock.
Clock stops right there. So why not run the ball? You're that close. Why not run the ball? Yes, the Rams are going to call a timeout. You run the ball on second down. The Rams are going to call their second timeout. Okay? You could run the ball on third down still, and you're still inside the 15. And at that point, when you run it on third down, now you have the opportunity to let another 40 seconds run off that clock. So easily they could have got it down to a minute, somewhere around that, potentially, with play selection.
But also, hypothetically, he's saying that there was no guarantee But also there wasn't a guarantee that they wouldn't have missed the kick.
Yeah.
That they
I'll take your
could that
phone.
they
They very well could have made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying it pretty much cost them the game and a chance.
But
to
is
the
it
Super Bowl.
unfair to say that the official cost them the game
Yes, it is unfair.
when there was 125 plus plays?
See,
in the game?
do you think it's like what? Would you say that
I mean,
Parkey
yeah.
cost the Bears their game?
No, not really that
So,
one. But
it's
also
like
what
the
I'm
same
saying
thing.
is these are world class officials making hundreds of thousands of dollars to go
wouldn't
out
say
there and
world-class.
officiate a game. And I think you're on that level. You shouldn't blow a call that big.
So you don't think they should be human?
Not what I'm saying.
Because humans make mistakes too,
See, 'cause
regardless of who it is.
Cody
So-
Parkey is a world class kicker, and he was on a big stage as a big time player, and he missed a field goal.
I still think it was tipped.
It was.
It didn't blow them the game. Those linemen are big time players. They let the ball get tipped. I think it's unfair to say that official cost the game with the one call. You can say Drew Brees throwing that interception.
But
That kind of cost them the game.
when the NFL goes in and apologizes to the team and finds the player that did it, at a certain point, how do you not think that cost them the game?
I think the NFL did the right thing.
They did the right thing, but that
I think
doesn't
you
mean it
have
cost
to.
the game. You have at that point, yeah, you have to. But there's again like over 125 plays in that game, and also the Saints defense let LA come back from down 13.
Then
What do
again,
you
there's
think,
also-
Caden? Are you just here for looks
I
today?
think that people who
Basically.
blame it
Yeah.
on the refs
Um,
are wrong.
I think you're wrong.
This is my
Connor.
time to talk, Connor. Stop. Okay. I think that it was a bad call, but there probably was more opportunities during the game that could have put the game out of reach more. Or, like, even in overtime, whenever Drew Brees threw the interception. That really cost them the game there.
Did you rehearse that?
What do you mean?
Did you practice that before you came?
That
It sounded rehearsed.
No, I didn't.
Okay, just curious.
Okay.
Next topic.
Spin.
No, so I
Okay.
think so. What about officiating overall, right? So,
It's fine.
so I that's my high horse right here
I
is
think-
officiating, and I believe that society as a whole has taught you guys as kids to blame officials. I believe society as a whole has taught us to blame officials for costing people games or running games, and it's evident all the time when you go watch games.
Yeah, like
right?
at our
I mean,
basketball games.
Yeah, it was evident even watching the league basketball tournament, right? I mean, you got fans from not just one team, but you got fans from multiple teams yelling about calls here. Oh, that's a bad call. It doesn't matter what call the official makes. The referee in basketball, it doesn't matter what call they make. Somebody's yelling at him because it was a bad call. Even when it's, a lot of times you're like, yeah, that's a foul. You can tell that. And then you still got somebody yelling at him. I mean, we saw that fan the other night that they had gotten. I mean, there was more fouls against the Mavericks than there was against South Central, and they had a fan that was still yelling. And then there was a foul. There was one where he told the ref, watch the game. You're obviously not watching the game. And then they called another foul against the Mavericks, and he's like yelling in the arena, and we're an arena, and you can still hear him. And he's yelling like, "Oh, we finally got one!" Like, bro, you've been getting them already all night. I mean, there's already been a bunch.
And you may or may not have yelled that.
Refs don't cost
Yeah.
games. Turnovers do.
Although,
Good job.
who had the most turnovers in the AFC Championship game?
The Chiefs?
Probably the
Patriots.
it was
The
the
Patriots. The Patriots gave the ball up to the Chiefs. They had 2 turnovers, and the Chiefs didn't have any.
Yeah. Do you think that the Chiefs...
I think what cost the Chiefs the game is the fact that out of, I think it was 20-some third downs, they only stopped them on 2 or 3.
Everybody keeps
That's what
calling.
cost them the
Everybody
game.
everybody keeps calling for that because that's true. Everybody keeps calling for the defensive coordinator to be fired.
He is.
He
did get
was.
fired.
I know, but everybody kept calling for that, and then the guy gets fired. But nobody was talking about what happened to the offense in the first half. They had all of 0 points.
And I think
Fire
here's what
Burger
happened there
King.
is Patriots efficiently shut down Tyreek Hill. I credit them for that.
Then why do we not look at it the same way though? Why do we not look at it and say the Patriots efficiently on offense had a great game plan? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they consistently move the ball, but I think the Chiefs have the number 1 offense in football and the number 32 defense.
True, but let me throw this one at you. I'm gonna pick on you for a minute based off of something you said about the officials.
It's like Oklahoma.
These are world-class athletes that are getting paid to play the game. How much of it is on the coach versus the players? These guys are getting paid millions of dollars. Coaches can't go on the field and make the play. They can't go tackle somebody for you.
Yeah, but the coaches are the ones who hire the players and get them there, recruit the players.
The defensive coach doesn't have anything to do with hiring the players and getting them there. That's the general manager and the head coach typically.
Yeah, but the defensive coach knows who to put where. And if he's not, and a defensive coordinator will have some pull saying, "Hey, I don't like this player. He's not doing it for me. I need someone else."
Well, I think your coach, he can have the best game plan anywhere, but if your players can't execute, that game plan doesn't mean anything. That's
a good point.
Hashtag real talk.
What?
I said hashtag real talk. Can't blame everything on the coaches.
What?
Cricket.
Wow.
All right, what you got, Brady? Kick us a topic here.
You just click it?
Yeah.
Spin?
It's
Da-da-da-da.
stupid.
Greatest
bang on
college
that.
football dynasty ever.
Oklahoma.
Greatest college football dynasty ever, Oklahoma. Why?
It's actually proven because I saw a post on
No.
Instagram that said they were the best.
Because Instagram's real.
Instagram's a real thing.
Go to what is it? It's like some like Wikipedia page, but it's like college football. It's like
They've won the most-
Winsipedia. Winsipedia.
How do you even spell that?
Go to
Because
Winsipedia.
it said something like they have like the most wins.
They have the most wins, the least losing seasons, and they like invented winning.
They invented winning.
Who's got the who?
You could say Bama, but they had a stretch
Who's won
there
the most
from-
championships?
It's OU or Bama, but you could say Bama. But if you look at it, Bama from '96 to 2004 was terrible.
But how
look
many
at
times
this.
does OU beat Bama and how many times does Bama beat OU?
It's pretty even.
Connor, you want to hear this? The longest active bowl streak. Who do you think it is?
It's
The
Bama.
longest. It's
Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Dynasty.
Who's their coach? Who was their coach during most of all that? Anybody?
Beats me.
Anybody?
Probably some
Bob
old
Stoops.
guy.
That's what
Old
makes you
guys.
guys losers because you don't know
Not
who
their
the good
coach now.
coaches are. Frank Beamer.
Larry Eisenhower.
Frank Beamer.
Wow.
No, but hey, we got to give him props, right? Because ever since Larry showed up to Pratt High, I mean, like they've won a state championship, they've
Yeah.
been in the state finals, right?
Yeah.
So it's got to be.
He's probably like the best high school football coach in the nation.
There you go. You heard it here first, Coach Eisenhower. Semi-pro
Okay.
sports. So Caden's got OU. Connor obviously has OU. Who you guys got? Brady, Bryson,
Alabama.
Bama.
Hold up.
Bama. Why?
I just think they're a great team overall, and year after year, no one can stop them.
Here,
Except for
I
Clemson.
have the series. Okay, you say year after year, but look at '96 to 04. They had losing seasons every year except for 2, where they went 6 and 6.
Okay, bro. Let me throw something out at you. 96 to 04. Let me throw out
I'm not even born.
for you the Gary Gibbs era of OU football, the Howard Schnellenberger 1-year era of OU football, and the John Blake era of OU football, all before Bob Stoops came.
I don't even know who any
So
of those
what was
guys are.
OU? What was OU's record after Barry Switzer left?
They didn't have that many years.
Until Bob
they didn't.
Stoop came.
They had one or two bad, like you could say, terrible years. Alabama had way more than that.
Connor, you know why I think you're going with OU? Because you're an OU fan.
Because he's an OU.
I am
fan.
an OU fan, but they're
I'm
better
completely
than
impartial
Bama.
in this because I like KU, and they are awful right now. That's why I'm
Well,
impartial.
that's because
in
they
this.
fired the best coach they ever had.
Yeah, I know. That was stupid. Hopefully Les Miles will turn it around, but
Okay,
hopefully.
That's a good topic. Who do you
No,
think? Who do you think? Who do you
definitely
think got the best
Oklahoma.
pickup out of the 2 schools in Kansas? KU with Les Miles, or K State with a coach who's won the D2 basically championship, the FCS championship, for the last 2 or 3 years in a row.
Is that
I don't
Multiple
know.
times.
South Dakota State?
North
coach?
Dakota.
North Dakota State.
I'm
Dakota.
going to say it's Les Miles because he's been in D1 football and he's won championships.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can base it off a D2 school coach, but he's admittedly a great coach. But what will he do in D1? You don't.
He was
Well,
a
he
D1
knows how
coach,
to
just
win.
FCS.
Or
He knows
what will
how to
he
win
do in the Big
championships.
12? Because that's always.
All right, let me.
We'll see.
Pulling this
Time will tell.
Okay.
Time will tell.
The 5 previous meetings between the Crimson Tide and the Sooners, Oklahoma leads 3-1 to 1.
Okay, but we're not talking about the two of them playing each other. We're talking about the
better
best
dynasty.
teams.
I know Bryson asked me to
overall.
look up who's winning that series.
Best
right now.
teams overall. So we're split 2 OU.
It's
2
actually
Alabama.
3-2-1, 3-2 to 1.
2 OU, 2 Alabama, split on the best dynasties in college football. Why not Nebraska?
Have you
Nebraska-
seen how they've been
They
in the
haven't
last
done
few
anything.
years?
Why not Florida State underneath of Bobby Bowden for all those years?
I mean, they were good. They used to be pretty good, but they've been going downhill for the past few years. Like, they weren't near as good this year at all.
I think, yeah, as in popularity in the recent years, that's why those teams are left out. It's because they haven't been good in the recent years.
Okay.
But I don't know. There was for a while there that some people would have said K-State was, but that's because they were good
Those
right then.
people
Or K-State fans.
would have
Called
been
K-State
silly.
fans.
Yeah.
K-State has the worst
Yeah.
football program ever in the history of FBS football. They almost left
They almost
FBS to
cut
FCS
football.
and moved to the Missouri Valley
They almost
Conference
cut football.
before they hired Bill Snyder. It was the worst.
What you got, Brady? Pick us another topic here.
Best NCAA conference for basketball.
Big 12.
Does anybody care?
I do.
College basketball is better than the NBA.
I mean, it's
College
not
basketball.
wrestling, so do we care?
Truth.
What did you do to your hand, kid?
Are you saying spin it again?
Sliced me.
Nope.
No.
Nope, that's the question. Best
Yeah,
NCAA conference for basketball. Let's go. What do we got?
Something
Big 12
I feel like we're not with it today. What's the
think-
deal?
or ACC.
I feel like the Big 12 because
Why?
you just don't have
It's
a drop
definitely-
off
I
like
think
the
it's the
ACC.
Big 12.
The only reason that the AC I'm not gonna even say the ACC because like the only reason that could be the ACC is because of Duke, and because
North
Duke is
Carolina.
really the only
And North
purely
Carolina.
dominant team. Because
Year in and year out.
Yeah. Well,
If you're talking about history, it's got to go with Big 12 or ACC though.
Because I think
Maybe
12
Big 10.
because, we're sending players, not we're. The Big 12 is sending teams constantly to the tournament, and they're sending consistently the entire conference, almost.
I think that we got to go with the Missouri Valley here.
Shut up.
They sent Wichita State to the Final Four. They sent Loyola Chicago to the Final Four. Those aren't very good teams, but
Name
they're
one
going
more
to the
team.
Final Four. Clayton Custer, MVP of all time. You see Drake. Drake's doing good things. Finishing
Do you
almost
even
last in
know
the
what
conference
Drake's
every
doing?
year. Bradley was good once upon a time. Creighton, they left for better things. See, all time, it's got to be the MVC. Larry Bird coming out of Indiana State.
and Wichita State was ranked number 2 one time.
Oh yeah, undefeated. Missouri State.
I got to go with the KCAC.
Missouri State.
Oh my god.
KCAC. If we're gonna be silly, and just make stuff up, then I got to go with the KCAC
Why?
what that
because
is.
a fringe university.
Are they even good at
Well,
basketball?
they're ranked number 24 right now. They're ranked number 24 in the NAIA.
We're going with the
NAIA.
SPIAA.
No.
That's not even college.
I think you got to go back and look who's won the national championship.
Duke,
For the last 10
Villanova, or North Carolina.
ACC Big East
basically.
teams. ACC or Big
so
East
how do
teams.
you call the Big 12 the best basketball conference when we ain't got teams winning and ain't is a word when we ain't got teams winning the national championship?
Best regular season conference. There's a difference.
No, there's not. No, there's not. There's
It's
good
got to be
and
the
then
ACC.
almost good enough.
It has to be the ACC.
No.
Here,
I mean, but
I'm gonna look up.
the ACC has one dominant team a year.
North
Got 1 to
Carolina's
2 dominant teams a year,
Notre
and then they
Dame.
completely drop off.
The Big 12 has one dominant team for the last 14 years.
Yeah, but look at all the teams behind them. They're still going to the conference, and they're going away.
That's the same thing that the ACC does. Those teams
Virginia
go-
Tech.
Virginia.
Virginia. Are they even ACC?
Yes,
Who,
they're in the
who's
ACC.
got the rankings? Who's got
Look
rankings?
at
I got
how many-
right here.
at
Look
it.
at how many Big 12 teams are
ACC.
ranked right now. Look how many
Okay,
ACC teams are
So
It's probably
in
about the same.
Who's
Okay.
top 25?
I got it. I've got it here.
Who's got the top 25 rankings?
I got each conference ranking. I'll go top 25.
No, I want top 25.
Yeah, you got it.
Top 25.
You gotta quit that.
Okay, let's see.
And you could say that the Big 12 just about got destroyed in the Big 12 SEC Challenge.
Except for Oklahoma.
Top 25, right? Tennessee's number 1,
Tennessee won.
which I think is awesome.
not right.
I think it's awesome that Tennessee is ranked as high as they are because Rick Barnes is the Tennessee coach who was at Texas. And since Texas got rid of Rick Barnes, what have they done?
Not
hired Shaka
much.
Smart.
What has Shaka Smart done at Texas?
Sit Mo Bamba one
Lost to
done.
VCU.
That's a good point.
That is a good point.
Got Mo Bamba.
Lost to you and I.
They send him.
So
send him one
I
done.
think it's funny that Tennessee
going on?
is number 1 right now.
Or is it just
And so they're SEC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So SEC. I'll
Where's
count.
Kentucky? By the way,
Kentucky's 7.
I don't know if this
was there a game?
Kentucky's 8. Kentucky's
Was there a
8.
game recently between Kentucky and who was it that they played?
KU.
Oh, that's right. Who won that game?
Kentucky.
Oh, ouch. That's got to hurt.
I'm not sure how this
Got to
works.
hurt for those KU fans.
They probably don't care very much.
You got the top 25 or what, bro?
I mean, it doesn't look updated. It's got like
How do you
Nevada.
mean it doesn't look
Let me
updated?
see.
Well, it's
Okay.
CBS.
Because it doesn't have the teams that you think should be
No,
in it?
like it's got
Okay,
like
hold on.
Duke
It
at
doesn't
4.
update till Monday.
That's probably right.
Doesn't
Hold
update
on.
till Monday.
Yeah.
I thought Duke was like 2.
Okay.
No.
No,
Marquette's
because they lost.
11.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Who has more?
So how many?
ACC
So how
or
many?
Big
How
12?
Yeah,
many?
Brady.
How many Big 12 schools are in
Pass
that?
this
One.
way.
2, 3, 4, 5, but nobody inside or 10 is the highest team they have. So
Now look
nobody
at-
really inside the top 10.
Look at the ACC.
2, who's even in the
Look at the
3,
ACC.
Virginia,
4, 5.
North Carolina, Duke.
6 for the ACC, I think.
Is Louisville?
I think
Who
Louisville's
you
in
got?
the ACC.
Duke, Virginia.
I got Virginia, Duke, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, Louisville, and Maryland. Wait, Maryland and NC State.
Is
I think NC State is in the.
is Mark Turgeon
ACC.
still coach of Maryland?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
I
Wait, so
haven't
hold
heard
on.
anything he's
There's
done.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So who's the best conference
7.
for basketball?
7 for 7, not 6.
So
Wow.
ACC's got more ranked teams.
So it's the
Now.
ACC.
How many does the SEC got?
No,
who's in the
I'm
SEC?
gonna say 3.
1.
LSU,
Tennessee's in the SEC.
Tennessee, and
2,
Kentucky is
3. Yeah, so Mississippi State's in the SEC, right?
What about the Big?
So 4.
Maryland's in the Big Ten, aren't they?
I think 4.
Maryland
Yes,
for
Maryland's in the
Maryland's
Big
in the Big
Ten.
Ten.
They're in the Big Ten? I thought they
Yeah.
were the ACC.
No, so you got Michigan,
Okay, so there is
Michigan
6.
It is-
State,
Turgeon is
Maryland.
Maryland.
Iowa. You've got 4 Big Ten teams. So
How many-
Bryson's a Big 12. Who are you guys?
1, 2, 3,
I'm going to go with the ACC.
4,
I've kind of switched back and forth over the past couple of years.
5. Did you guys say 5
What
SEC
I'm-
teams?
Well, also what I'm
I think
thinking
we
is,
said
no matter
4.
what,
5.
4.
There's 5.
this is the first year that the people have talked about the Big 12 being one of the best conferences, and I don't see why that is, because they've always said that, but then there's always been, well, they've always said the Big 12 wasn't really anything, and they don't really talk about them, but there's always been about one commentator on each show you'll watch that'll say, yeah, I think the Big 12 is the most underrated conference in college basketball.
Well, look at it this way: the worst record in the Big 12 is 9-11, and in the ACC, the worst record you got is 8-11. So there's really nothing there to set anything off. So it's really
Mhm.
just opinion at this point, in my opinion.
Well, it's always opinion. Until somebody comes out and wins the national championship, and they're the best team from the best conference.
And I feel like it's actually going to be Gonzaga this year. I think Gonzaga's
You
going
think?
to win. That's my prediction. It's Gonzaga. Gonzaga or Duke?
No.
Spin us a wheel.
It's gonna
Spin us a
be
wheel.
Tennessee. It's gonna be Tennessee.
And wheel. We have 20 minutes.
You got 27.
We just got that one.
Oh, it
No,
doesn't take them out when they get
It
picked?
should.
Just wonder
I
who
think
set,
your wheel
wonder who
idea
set
is
this wheel
stupid,
up.
Connor. I think we should.
It's
pick
better
up-
than picking our own.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Gronk retirement?
That was
I didn't heard anything about this.
He said he was going
He
to.
announced his
people have been
retirement
talk-
and that he's going to
to
the
the WWE.
WWE.
Isn't that going to be like a little worse on his back?
Yeah,
You
they
think
said
he was
retiring
serious?
because of his back.
Yeah.
What he
He's
said.
been around for a while, dude. He's taking some hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why would he go to the WWE?
Money.
Oh, right. That's right, because it's fake.
Well, he's never touched his.
Dude.
He's never
He's
touched
never-
his
yeah,
game.
He's
It is
never
real.
touched
He hasn't.
his the
His
the
end-game
money that
paycheck.
Bro,
the
I watched Bam
Patriots-
Bam Bigelow and Hulk Hogan win a match at the
my
Kansas
gosh.
Coliseum when I was a
Oh
kid, and
my
it was real, every minute of it. It was real.
Real fun.
I watched Hulk Hogan body slam Andre the Giant. You gonna tell me that wasn't real?
Yeah,
Picked
because
him
no
up.
one can
Picked
pick up Andre
him
the Giant.
up. Boom. That's real.
No, it's not.
Anyways, Gronk has never
People would
touched.
be dead. They hit people with tables and chairs and stuff.
Well, yeah, but they're tough. Those guys are tough.
Okay.
Okay, let's get back on topic here.
I feel like Chad's
Now-
secretly a WWE fan.
Gronk has
I
never
was growing
touched
up.
the money that the New England Patriots
Ultimate
have
Warrior
paid
was
him to
awesome.
play for their team. Gronk has never touched any of that money. He is living solely off of his endorsement deals.
So he's loaded.
He is absolutely loaded right now.
And I'm loaded.
Okay.
I'd be a lot more loaded if I didn't have kids.
Is your net worth $15 million?
Chump
Wonder if we
change.
can
Let's
Google that.
look
Chump
up.
change.
I'm gonna look and see if Chad even has a net worth.
Chump change.
Chad
My net
Poor.
worth is love.
Chad Poor net worth.
My
wait.
net worth is in love.
Oh, wait, Dad.
Nope, I just see a Chad Power.
Yep, Chad Power.
Yeah, we love that guy, don't we?
Who? Chad Power?
So where are we at with the Gronk thing? Everybody thinks it's time for Gronk to go. I mean, like he still had a good year.
I think
He
that
had
he
an
should
amazing
stay.
year, and I think if
He
he
was
stayed,
great for my fantasy team.
yeah, if he stayed, he would be amazing. But
Gronk's is 50.
What about Brady? When do you think Brady's going to retire?
45.
You think he's going to stay around for another
45?
4 years?
Yeah.
People have been-
I don't think 4. I think he says that, and I think he'll be gone.
I think-
if he
okay,
wins
I
the
think-
Super Bowl.
If he wins the Super Bowl here, he's done.
Really? Go out on a high note?
Yep.
I'm thinking, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think that he's either going to play for like 2 or 3 more years, or if he wins it this year, he's going to be like Peyton Manning and just
If he wins
retire.
it this year, I think he's done. If not, I think he's going to stick around either to 45 or Super Bowl, whichever comes first.
Which,
That's what I think.
How do they
but
keep winning though, right?
I don't understand.
They keep. It doesn't matter who they get coaching wise because their coaches always get taken away to go be head coaches or coordinators or something else.
Bill
And
Belichick.
their players, I mean, they routinely have
right.
different players all the time that come through there, with the exception of a few. How do they keep winning? And it's not by cheating.
Well,
Everybody
not
keeps wanting to
anymore.
say,
pay all
calling
the
the
reps
cheaters.
in order
Not
to
anymore.
succeed.
It's never been by cheating, dude. Those
Patriots
Oh, no.
are the real. What's an I word that like
guys. I don't know, but you're just making it up.
International.
international?
So how do they keep
Team.
winning? Like it doesn't
Awesome.
matter who they play. Chiefs had the best offense this
obeying
year.
sport.
The worst
Patriots beat them
defense,
twice.
But the worst defense.
Beat them twice.
Twice. That's one more time than one time, and 2 more times than 0 times.
Connor, shut up.
That's why he's got a B in math.
I have an A in
I have
math
an A.
actually.
Some of you guys may have an A in math, but you're going to fail in math skills in life because you think it's easy today.
Math is hard today. We have to do the Common Core stuff.
Common Core sucks.
The Common Core does not. You don't even know anything about Common Core. You guys don't even get Common Core.
Sucks.
Most
No, we
people
do.
don't get Common Core. Most people read what they see on Facebook and they think, oh, that's Common Core is hard. You know what? I'll say it and it makes people mad. Go read the Common Core stuff. The difference between when I took math as a kid and all these people out there complaining about math is back then we only got taught math one way. Common Core teaches multiple ways to do math, which is more in line with how you do it out in the real world.
Some schools still do if you don't do it right, even if you get the right answer, you're wrong. We don't do that.
Everybody believes what they see on Facebook, like, oh, hey,
I don't believe what I see on Facebook.
This school scored worse, or because they do Common Core. No, that's not the case. Proven false. Proven false that the schools that had Common Core actually scored better on math.
But like, do you think you can? Did you do the same stuff when you were a freshman that we're doing now?
No, because I was in algebra as an 8th grader.
Yeah.
I did geometry as a
We
freshman.
did
Do you
not
think
get that opportunity
we didn't get that
because our class
opportunity?
was too
I
small.
realize
Our
that.
class was too small, so they cut it.
No, that wasn't the case. It had nothing to do with your class. It had to do with they cut teaching,
True.
and they
That
didn't
too.
have the teachers.
But then all of a sudden it's added back.
What we got for another topic right there?
Just skipped a year.
Somebody's feuding with Common Core.
Seems like that always happens to us, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
Yeah, it does.
we didn't get
Gosh,
eighth
dang
grade
it,
That's
people.
Connor.
because, again, it's what life and society has taught us. Society has taught us that it's always the official's fault, and Facebook, because everything on there is true, has taught us that Common Core is bad math, when in
Yeah.
reality,
We kind of already
I
talked
don't think
about
it's
my-
bad.
my
I'm not saying it's
10-year-old
bad, I'm
I think
saying
it's good for
annoying.
us.
my
It's good for
10-year-old
us,
has
but-
more number sense than kids did when I was in high school.
We got same
He understands number sense more.
Connor, your wheel
is not
sucks. We're not doing
working
wheel
with
next week.
us.
We're just picking our topics.
Okay, there. New one. Greatest NFL
I don't even-
franchise
I don't
ever.
I don't even think that's a good question.
The Houston
It's
Oilers.
not really. Because it's either the
the
it's either the
Patriots.
It's not.
Patriots or the
What are you
Packers.
gonna What are you gonna
Patriots.
go by? Are you gonna go by number of Super Bowl wins?
Super. If
It's
you go by
Super Bowl wins, team dominancy.
Super
Who's got the
Bowls-
most Super Bowl wins?
Steelers.
it's the Steelers, I think.
It's
Well,
the
there you go.
Pa-
Greatest
If you
NFL
go-
The
franchise ever.
Patriots are definitely
If you
the
go by
greatest.
Super Bowl appearances, there's the Steelers, the Packers, the Patriots, the Broncos, the
What if you
other
wanna,
team.
The
The other
Bills
team.
in the 1980s. The Bills were the greatest NFL
Bears.
franchise ever. They went to
The
4 Super
Bears.
Bowls in a row. Didn't win one of them.
The Bears.
Bears
The
were good.
Bears.
The
The
Bears.
Bears won one Super Bowl.
1985.
1985.
One Super Bowl.
The Bulls and the Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't think those are good questions.
New
Like, what are you
topic.
basing it off of?
New
You got to
topic.
pick something to base it off of. Do you base it off of most wins ever? Because then that just means which team's been around the longest that has the most wins. If you base it off of most Super Bowl wins,
You got the Steelers.
then that's going to give you the team right there.
But what have they done?
If you base it off of the most consistent team,
That's the Patriots.
the Broncos, this is the first time they've had back-to-back losing seasons in 39 years. So they don't have losing seasons.
Man, I say it again. The Bears.
So
The Bears. aren't.
next question.
That was a fan question, by the way. I did not come up with that one.
What fan? We have a fan?
Tanya Greenleaf.
Bo West.
All right, we have a fan.
Wow.
Woohoo!
Gotta say, Tanya Greenleaf helped us come up with a lot of these
World
ideas.
Series prediction.
Way too early.
How are we
World
gonna
Series
how are we
Shout out
gonna
to
do a
her.
World Series prediction already?
It's a way too
Are we
early.
gambling people or something? I don't even know what the odds in
Maybe.
Vegas are right now.
Well, I want to say before
What are the
spring
Vegas
training.
odds for the World Series?
I don't know.
Let's see.
I want to say before
I
spring
think
training.
it's the
I wanna
Yankees'
see
year
who you
this
think-
year.
Really?
You
Think
always
so.
think
You've
it's
said
the
that for the last
Yankees' year.
6 years.
Nuh-uh, not when they
Yes.
were poo
Yes.
trash.
Yes.
Last
No.
year? You said that last year.
Yeah.
Like, I
'cause they
could
were
say
gonna
it's the
be good.
Royals' year, but it's
The
not
Broncos
because
are
this is a
ranked
completely
sixth
rebuilt test
statistically.
year. So, number 2, here we go. We just gotta buckle up and see what happens. I don't think we're gonna do good.
I had no idea what he said.
Okay,
Probably
so
about
let's
the
see.
Royals.
Here are the odds.
year.
Here are the odds for the 2019 World Series. You got the Astros and the Red Sox both at 6-1.
That's just because they won the last
6-1 odds.
The American
The
is the
Dodgers
tougher
and the
division.
Yankees, greatest baseball team of all time,
The Dodgers?
7-1
Both of them.
odds.
They're the greatest in their own
The
divisions.
Cubs,
Oh
who
yeah.
are sporting and representing today,
Why?
are 10-1 odds. But if I was laying my money down,
Montrose Gatorade.
I would lay it on the Orioles, who are 30-1 odds. Coincidentally, you know who's right above the Orioles?
The
in a
Royals.
tie for 200-1 odds to win?
The
The
Royals.
Royals and
The
Tigers.
The Royals. Royals are tied with the Tigers and the Marlins. So Red Sox, Dodgers, Red Sox, Astros, followed by Dodgers, Yankees.
The Dodgers are going to win the National
Dodgers
League,
have
but
been in the World Series last 2 years, haven't won.
Yeah.
yeah, they fail. They're going to fail again because the
Haven't
Americans
won.
way tougher than the
Astros.
National.
Astros are gonna win it this year.
No, the
Yankees
Astros had
year.
their chance. So did the Red
The
Sox.
Yankees year.
They both won. It's the Yankees.
It's
The
definitely.
Yankees.
Not, I don't think it's the
Yep.
Yankees.
I'm going with the Braves.
They
I'm
made
going
moves.
Yankees
They
'cause
got
they
rid of
didn't-
the one guy.
Their bullpen is like solid.
The Red Sox, I think it'll
Like,
be
it's
the Red Sox
overpowering.
and the Yankees in the championship series again.
This is still Chapman.
That's a good point.
And that one's going to go
I
into
got the
7
Braves.
games. The
Is that a
Braves.
team still? The Braves.
Are the Braves even relevant?
Let's
That's
look and see. The Braves are 12-1 odds. They're 12 to 1. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th.
You just
They're
like
listed
Ozuna.
7th.
Dark horse.
You just like Ozuna.
7th.
Who?
Ozuna.
We know it's not going to be the Indians. They're in there at 6, but we know it's not going to be them because they can't ever close out.
They only make it to the
Believe
playoffs.
that.
Everybody
Coming
else in
back.
that division is trash.
Although the
Yeah.
one time that I did see the Indians play amazing baseball was when?
Major League Baseball,
Boom,
the movie.
Right there. Right
The
there.
Yankees could have
Rick
historic
Vaughn.
bullpen.
Is
Wow.
CC Sabathia coming back?
Who?
I
That one
don't
old guy?
know. He's on their roster.
Is he? Did he?
He
if
is
he
on
is
their
coming back,
roster.
we are.
I don't know, but
gonna give
what
up
I do know
dinger
is it's
after
getting
dinger.
closer to pitchers and catchers reporting, which means what?
Spring training. We're going again this year.
It's almost baseball time.
I would be going, but we have a church trip.
It's almost baseball
yeah,
time.
we're going this year again.
What do we got? Pick another one. Pick another one.
Probably gonna
We
be
are
like
going?
the same one.
Huh?
We are going.
We what?
Church trip.
Nope,
No,
not that one.
this is a different thing.
Oh.
It's for youth group
Oh.
over spring break.
Yeah, because like the Yankees, their
Are
bullpen.
you
I feel like we're just gonna keep spinning.
The Yankees,
Oh,
the
there
Yeah,
you go.
Yankees
Connor, your
have
idea is horrible.
Aroldis
What's that one?
Chapman
Oh,
and
it's kinda like
Dylan
dirty.
Betances.
It's supposed to take
No,
him
we don't.
out.
Let's take that out. Yeah, we don't want that one. We already had that
I
one.
think the
Pretty
Yankees
much.
would be a lot better
We
if
already
we just
discussed
got
that.
rid of CC Sabathia.
He's
Does
coming
Chad Porter
back?
want to come up with an idea?
There's no way they're gonna get rid of him after all he's done
Is
for
there
that
anything you
team
haven't done?
forever.
Oh, there it is.
There's no way they're gonna tell him to leave. They're gonna let him retire.
Let's here. Let's do this because you guys are going to the school board. So let's spend the last few minutes talking
Okay.
about baseball and the potential of baseball in Kiowa County and what part of your presentation is with the school board. So how many other schools in our league have baseball now?
Four.
Four other.
And that's because Buckland just added it, right?
And
So they make
Buckland's
number
combined
4.
with South Central, so technically 5.
So Buckland's going to co-op with South Central, and how many have softball?
Well, it's technically
It's
too
technically
many. No, not Mineola. Buckland and Buckland
Spearville.
and Spearville, and then Satana is actually combined with Sublette, but Mineola does not.
Okay,
Satana and Sublette make Haskell County.
and Pratt Skyline.
Yeah.
Skyline added baseball last year
And softball.
So
And
now
softball.
we've got Pratt Skyline and Buckland right by us.
Medicine
Spearville
Lodge.
has it. Does Kinsley have it?
No.
They don't have it.
Medicine
Medicine
Lodge
Lodge does have it.
Cimarron,
Okay, Cimarron.
Satana, Mound Ridge, Little River,
Inman.
Inman, Haven. Those are some small 3As.
Haven's a little bit bigger, yeah.
Yeah.
Satana,
But a few
Sublette,
few smaller
Southwestern
schools.
Heights.
Seems like some people are finally starting to add baseball back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Smart people.
There you go.
Should not have
There you
drank
go.
that Gatorade.
So what's the history of baseball in Kiowa County, right? Greensburg has never had it.
Mullenville's had it. Haviland had it.
Mullenville had it, and
Haviland
Haviland had it.
There's some
The last
pictures
time
downstairs.
Greensburg co-opted with Haviland, a couple years later, it was done.
Yeah.
I think that's because Haviland had to cut stuff just to keep their school open because they don't have the numbers.
They don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reason they're not playing any sports by themselves at all. Everything's running with Greensburg.
Yeah.
That's why they do their junior high stuff with us.
Yeah.
That's why they don't have a high school.
I think they should just combine fully. Or
Yeah, we should.
Or they should just
bring all
either
the
way.
kids
It's
over.
going to end up staying Greensburg
So-
School District. It just depends on whether they shut down.
No,
So
it's not Greensburg School District. It's Kiowa County School District.
No, it's Greensburg. It's 422 Greensburg.
so how many
Cowell
games? How many games do you have to play?
You can play 20,
Okay.
not
And-
including regionals and state.
County. No, including regionals, not including state. It
So
includes
20
regionals.
including regionals, but
Yes.
not state.
So most teams do
So-
7 or 8 game regular
Yeah.
season.
Because the new regionals is 4 games.
And everything's doubleheader,
Everything's
right? So
doubleheader,
you
yeah.
basically you need 16 games. Regionals is 4.
Yeah. 7 dates. You need 7 or 8 dates. Regular season dates.
Well, first of all, if you're going on 7 or 8 dates, I hope it's with the same person.
Oh,
No,
so
this
I
is
will
going
make
to
some
be
of them
7 or
mad.
8 different people that have
Yeah,
9
that'll
people.
round it off.
with
So you're
us.
going to play 7 or 8 doubleheaders, so 14 or 16 games. 14 or 16 games. Do these other schools have JVs, or they all just have varsity?
Probably just varsity with numbers.
And Spearville was state champs last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1A state champs.
And I'm guessing that they have enough for JV.
And we've lost kids, right?
Yes.
That have went to play somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yes.
What would have you guys thought about going elsewhere to play if you don't have baseball here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bryson, where would
How
you
come
go?
you didn't this year?
Because we're going to wait it out.
We're gonna wait it out because
Can't just
we're-
leave behind our friends.
Yeah. I mean, all of our parents teach at the school.
Yeah.
I mean, your parents don't. But
Yeah, my parents don't teach at the school.
all of our parents teach at the school. So why would we leave that when we know we can take a presentation to the board and see what happens and then go if we don't get it?
Yeah. And, like,
I
we're
think
not just going to give up before we
1 year
totally
of
get
no
into high
school
school.
baseball isn't going to hurt us with traveling ball.
And plus, like, we transfer to somewhere else next year. We're most likely going to be playing JV sports anyway, so it's not going to hurt anything because you can't play varsity. If you can transfer your freshman year, still play varsity. Transfer after that, sit out a semester, and only JV sports. We're going to still be on JV anywhere next year. So, where would you go, Bryson?
I don't know. There's options.
Would you go to a league school or something bigger like Pratt?
Name your top 3.
Dodge.
Top 3.
Spearville, Pratt, Skyline.
In that order?
My top 3.
Or would
I'm
you
not
just
going to
stay and
Spearville.
play summer ball?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know. I really don't know.
My option would be Spearville, Spearville or Pratt High. I don't really want to go to Skyline or Buckland.
I'm not going.
I really
don't
want
go
to,
Spearville.
but that's a safety.
It's most likely Pratt
You want
High.
to go to Buckland?
I'll just play summer ball.
Why don't you want to go to Buckland?
Because it's
My
Buckland.
top school that I'd want to go to is Skyline.
mean-
probably.
Yeah.
It's probably Skyline.
And because you still have that small school environment with the. I don't know.
Skyline for the small school environment,
Do
but
you-
I don't really want to go to Skyline. I don't like the kids
Do you
there.
think it would attract some other kids if we had baseball?
Yeah,
That's one of our pros.
it is on there.
What makes you think it's going to attract some other kids?
They'll be
Because
like,
if a family's deciding, okay, I got this job in Haviland, so in Haviland, I can either move to Haviland,
There's jobs in Haviland outside of
mean,
the ones
if-
that are
the
already
Haviland
there?
Telephone Company.
Haviland Telephone Company, oil stuff. If I get this job around Kiowa County, Pratt County area, you move to Pratt and you can play baseball. But also, if
Or you
Kiowa County
could-
doesn't have baseball, but if Kiowa County has baseball, you can move to a small town.
And
Cheaper-
we could get
cheaper living.
transfer students, like someone that goes like I don't know, like Buckland. Yeah, Buckland has baseball, but say they don't like it at Buckland, but they're only there for the baseball. They could transfer here, play baseball. Kinsley kids transfer down, play baseball.
Why would they not go to Spearville? It's closer.
They could Maxville kids. We could get Maxville. We have a lot of Maxville
could
kids
do that.
actually. We get quite a bit of Maxville kids.
One I'd really wish he'd move back, but
So, what do you think the chances of it happening are?
Pretty good.
Pretty-
What are your odds?
pretty good.
Our
because-
odds are 4-3.
No, that's the
thinking-
vote that you need.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's about a 75% chance.
I think
we
it's
get it.
a 2-1.
You think you're
odds.
75% chance that we'll get it, or at least
there's
try
an-
it?
I
there's
think
about an
there's a
80%
chance that I might have to go to the bathroom here in about a minute. So
Well, good
Yeah.
thing we only have like
You know what?
10 minutes left.
Just go. Just leave.
How much time we got left?
Go home.
Not much here because obviously you guys are in a hurry. This is our second episode. I feel like it's a failure.
It's not.
it wasn't as good as the first, but we didn't have as
Why
good
not?
topics.
Because
The
Connor
topics
is
were not
getting
fixed.
his off topic.
So from a
Connor's
learning
wheel.
standpoint, what you're saying is we got to pick some really good topics.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
forget the
and
wheel.
not spin them on a wheel to pick which ones go next.
I don't know
Yeah.
that it was that as much as having decent topics and getting engaged in conversation.
Yeah, because those topics that we had, we talked about for like 5 minutes.
Except the first topic, that was like 30 minutes.
No, it was.
Yeah.
That one wasn't even on the wheel.
That was 10.
Whenever we didn't even have a topic and we were talking about officiating. That's
The
at, like, 20
officiating was like
minutes.
25 to 30 minutes.
Yeah. No, it wasn't.
It was like 10
Listen,
minutes.
this leads me to my next point that I've been teaching to everybody since they were little, which is what?
Don't suck.
Don't do drugs.
Oh.
Because Connor is clearly on something.
Drugs are bad.
Don't
Okay.
do drugs. Okay, any last thoughts right here? You got a couple of. Everybody gets a chance again. We tried it last time.
Kid-
Bryson, last thoughts.
I don't know.
Well said. Well said, my
know.
friend. Well said.
I know.
Connor, last thoughts.
Wait. Do we need to predict the Super Bowl or anything yet? Or are we doing that next week?
We'll get there.
We
Yeah,
already
last thoughts,
predicted the
Connor.
Super Bowl.
Do it for the wood.
That is a shop joke. I feel like I need to clarify that.
No, like the baseball bat. It's wood.
Brady.
No, it's not. It's called metal.
Brady, last thoughts.
Screw the wheel.
Called composite aluminum.
Get rid of the
aluminum.
wheel.
Yeah, get rid of
Caden,
the
last thought.
Oh.
Tell the fans to leave.
Dubbers.
My last thought is,
Get rid of the wheel.
yeah,
It's pretty
get
solid.
rid of the wheel and
Cut
come up
the
with better
wheel.
topics.
Cut
And
the
not let
wheel.
Connor come up with
Cut
any
the
topics.
wheel.
Super Bowl prediction. Who's gonna win? Who's going to win? Patriots,
Rams.
Rams.
I gotta go Sean McVay.
Okay. Rams, Connor.
I want the Rams to win, but it's going to be the Patriots.
Patriots
Brady?
by 10.
Caden.
Oh man, I gotta go Patriots.
So 3 Patriots. I'm going to go with Bryson. Say the Rams. So hopefully him and I don't end up 0-3 on this deal here.
That's the time.
How do you turn that off? Cancel that.
I got it.
Good job, Dad.
So thanks for joining us again on episode 2, Semi-Pro Sports coming at you. I don't know that we'll get the chance next week. Next week we got the Super Bowl party that some of us will be at, but I don't know that we could. It'd be kind of cool if we could actually do our Semi-Pro Sports at the Super Bowl party. I don't know if we'd be able to set that up or not. Maybe that's something we can work on, and maybe we could do a live one from there and actually just talk about the Super Bowl and plays in the Super Bowl and talk about a lot of that kind of
We
stuff.
could do a Super Bowl film
So,
room live
We'll
on
talk.
YouTube.
We'll talk about that. Maybe come back to you there. But thanks for checking us out again. Make sure and like us on all of our social media. And again, Semi-Pro Sports. We'll be back next week with another episode of Semi-Pro Sports. And promise you, as we keep going and we get things figured out, it's going to get better. So keep tuning in. We'll hopefully get these guys, especially a couple of these ones on this side of the table, talking a little bit more so that these ones over here ain't talking so much.
Let's try to get this.
Oh.
Let's smash like button on this. Get it to
Definitely.
4 likes.
I just hope people could hear me this
4
time.
likes.
We
That's
got
our goal.
Connor. That's
our
a
goal.
bad goal. We had 6 last time.
All right,
7.
whatever.
They might have
7
been
likes.
on 4 of my accounts. But
Make sure and check us out on all of our social media. Watch us, like us, share with other people.
Leave ideas.
You guys have a safe weekend.
seriously, comment ideas, please.
And as we finish everything up for those that are going out playing in a sporting event this week, our advice to you is what?
Don't
suck.
See you next time.